Hello
Hello.
and welcome. We're waiting for us to join. And I'll eat something off screen.
We are testing new microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So please tell us how do you hear us when you listen it in replay.
You're probably hearing my crunching sound now.
But someone is here.
Not yet.
Hold on. It says hold on.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Hi Ileana. Nice to see you. Not see you, but
Well, nice to see you that you're here.
yes. Because we don't see you.
Oh.
Nice, very nice. We are testing new microphone. So tell how to hear us. We're making you hungry.
Yeah.
It's all Ralph. He always likes to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love to eat. How do we sound? We're testing our new microphone right now. And you know what that means? New microphone equals meditation course. Woo! Every time Ralph's finishing.
Yes! I tell him it's not polite.
But at the same time, she does make me food like 2 seconds right before you start the live. So
No, I make it before, but you start eating it too late. Thank you, it sounds great. That's amazing to know.
awesome. What's the...
Ileana, if you have any questions, please ask, but I think we're going to start topic now, because everyone can watch recording. Don't judge, yeah.
See, you're the one only judging.
No, I'm not judging, I just say it's unprofessional.
Mm-hmm. Well, then don't make me food.
You can also undress, hear subs in front of everyone.
But I don't do that.
What you eat.
We're creating a cozy atmosphere. There was so much on the group chat. Yes. It's quite funny now because we have this little fluffy thing on the microphone, so we don't necessarily read all the comments.
Maybe remove the fluffy thing.
I don't know if that does anything to the sound. Okay,
Let's see, let's
try.
test it.
Okay, Juliana, you're going to tell us what happens when I remove the fluffy thing. Oei. Okay, how does it sound right now?
Still good?
Yeah, like right now.
That was here, see?
Yeah, this little fluffy thing. So I'm wondering if that makes any difference or if that, yeah.
Same, see?
Same.
Okay.
Okay.
That's nice. So we're going to start about money. If you have any questions about money, abundance, manifesting, all of that. We are going to start. It's a big topic, but we're going to start.
Yes.
So I think first we need to say disclaimer, because obviously we're not billionaires.
Yep.
We are not millionaires.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet, but we know some techniques which are working, which we are using, and they make us more and more closer to that goal of billionaire and millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's
Yeah, it's for outside. I know it's for the
Yes.
winting. I know.
yeah.
I like it though. It looks nice.
So we are just going to share some instruments which work for us, and they work for everyone we use it with. So I hope they also will work for you.
Yes.
And let's start. Where to start? Okay, we prepared something. I have my part, and Ralph has his part. I start with my part.
Yep. Okay, and I'm listening.
Yes. So about manifesting, it's basically like a radio studio. Yeah. Like with anything, like I will explain the logic. Okay. So when we want to open the third eye, we don't ask what's opening the third eye, but we ask what is blocking it from seeing, because I already have it open. So I ask then what's blocking it, or if I don't love my parents, I'm not trying to love them, push them, love them, let's love them. I force myself to love them at some point so that I finally love them. No, we ask what's blocking that natural love from flowing, right? And well, basically the same as any other example. Why doesn't something work? We ask what stops it from working. The same as manifesting. Manifesting is our natural, I would say, birthright tool, because we were made as a creator, as a God, like it says in the Bible, we know that we are part of God. So we have his, her, if it's universe, doesn't matter, man of female.
You know, Matt, his, her, it, whatever you want to use.
Yes, we have his abilities, so naturally we can manifest and create the life whatever we want.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good question to ask. What is blocking that ability then? Not, I don't want to push. That's also good to do, right? There are many techniques, how to manifest, but all of them will not work or will work really slowly unless I remove that stone from the river of natural manifestation flow. Because I have this ability. This is literally my, I can walk the same way I can manifest. And then, yes, I can, use some techniques to walk better or something, but first of all, maybe I first remove the chains which are on my legs, right? Which don't let me walk. Well, I'm just exaggerating, but so that you get the logic, right? So, and then I ask myself, what does stop me from manifesting? And this is super good technique. So I want your full attention now, Julian, and everyone who's going to watch it. We have only you today.
Well,
nice.
Yesterday was last time it was only Kelly in the beginning, and now it's only Iliana.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone after the trauma thing, everyone said, "Okay, enough."
Enough for now. And Iliana wants to go forward. She's ready. Nice. And then when I want to manifest, for example, I ask myself, I want to manifest the new house, right? And then, hi Madeline.
Madeline is also ready yes. to go.
You're right here for the technique for manifest. And please watch beginning of the recording.
Yep.
So when I want to manifest something, I ask myself then, how does my life is going to look when I have that manifestation, right? So for example, I'll give an example. I have super old phone. It's phone of my mother. It's like 5-year-old phone. It holds the battery like only 2 hours. It's super bad. I almost don't use it. I use Ralph's phone. I can buy a new phone. Technically, I can, but I'm postponing it for the last couple of years already. Even though I really want.
Actively for the last months.
For the last year or so, I'm postponing it actively.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Last
and
year.
Before that as well, a lot. And I say, yeah, I don't have money. It's hard to buy it. Maybe this, maybe this. So I'm looking for all kind of excuses. But while technically I'm just pushing it away. But even though in all my manifestation lists, every time I manifest how I'm having my phone, how nice it is, I really want to get it, and I tell to myself and to everyone, I really need to get a new phone, Ralph, why don't you get me a new phone, and all of that. So I kind of want it, but I'm postponing it. And then what should I do? When I looked at it, how will my life look when I have my new phone? So I first said it's going to be amazing, I can call, I can go to do something there, I can make my own stories, not on Ralph's phone, but my own. It's so amazing. And that's what probably is going to happen when you do it with your manifestation. And then, the next step, I need to be completely honest with myself. And I need to ask, maybe something not nice will happen. And then I sit there and I think, yes, if I have new phone, I'm going to be like control freak. Every second, I'm going to be afraid that it's going to be stolen. I'm going to be afraid that it's going to be lost. I'm going to be afraid that, what else did I have? I had so many things. That it will arrive to me, but it will be broken. I have to fix it. It's so much headache. I have to, do so many maintenance. I have to have all these apps. I have to, and all of this comes out. You think that's crazy probably right now. You have all good phones. But and when I was a child, I lost my phone, but then I found it, but I lost it. So I was super scared. So for me, it meant more stress than actually a good thing. So that's why I kept postponing it, because my body was postponing it, because it meant something bad to happen. And then I see, okay, so that's what stops my manifestation from happening. And then I go to see, why I'm afraid that I will lose my phone? Why does it have to happen to me? Oh, and another one I had. Because then people will see I have money, and I'm not spiritual, and that I'm a bad person, then so all kind of money beliefs come up as well. Because when you're spiritual, I'm not supposed to have money, right? That's what all these gurus say. Driving on their new Mercedes. Mercedes.
So if you have the phone now, you don't have an excuse to postpone other things.
Yeah, exactly, as well. Yeah. So, and then I go and I see it's not about the phone, and now I see what's stopping my manifestation, and I go to work exactly with this route. And I already gave you techniques in the previous slides about beliefs. So I'm going to change belief. I'm going to see where this belief came from. Why do I believe that spiritual people are not supposed to have money? Why do I believe that people will think I'm greedy if I have phone, that I'm a bad person, or that I have to share money with them, I have my expensive phone or something like that? Why do I believe that it's hard to have phone, that I will lose it? Why do I have to lose things? And then I say, okay, because in the childhood, my mama told me that I'm always losing something. Because, and then you dig to that, right? So not having a phone, if you don't have something what you want to have, there is always something blocking it, always, 100% sure. And you need to find it, solve it, And then either money will come from your phone, or you will just get it, or something will happen for sure. It will be much quicker coming to you. The same, I want to have another car. It's not so well. Phone I'm ready to buy, like I'm looking, but there is also a car. I want to get a car, and then I'm asking. Then there are so many things. I can get a car crash. My car can be stolen, can be beaten. It can be, well, lots of things, right? Can happen to the car, and yeah, I'm afraid to drive. That's another thing. So obviously this is blocking my manifestation. So now I want you to go and see what you want to create in your life and see what's stopping you from creating that. What's bad, this is a question, what's bad is going to happen when I'm going to get it. Right? So you can also share in the comments, by the way, to give us some good examples.
Yes.
Ralph also has many examples. It always works like that, really. You will always have to find something that stops you and find all the things. Because then you can naturally manifest whatever you want. So this was the first part of manifesting thing, which I want to tell. And second one is, we are never going to manifest something if we don't believe that we deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big thing. So I can already remove all the blockages. I can remove all of that. But if I don't feel like I deserve that, if I don't feel like I can have it, like it can come to me, how can I get it then? If world is my mirror and it says, oh, you feel like you don't deserve it. Okay, here you go.
Here you go. You don't deserve it.
You don't deserve it. Nice. Thank you for asking. It's like, it was in the movie Secret or something like that.
Yeah, The Secret.
Like the universe always said, how to say it? Слушай, listen to you and following your command, right?
Your wish is my command.
Yeah, that one. That's how universe says. Don't deserve it, okay. You feel like you're not good enough, okay. Spiritual people can't have lots of money, okay. Here is your no money.
Uh-huh.
That's, by the way, a very big belief among spiritual.
Very common.
If I'm spiritual, I don't deserve to drive a good car. I don't deserve to have a super amazing house, go fly business class, have super amazing vacations.
That's why there is so much hatred towards all those spiritual people who are rich.
Yes.
Why? Because they drive in all those big cars, and everyone in society has those things of everything that's spiritually good has to have no money and should have no money involved because money is evil, right?
And who said that? They didn't say it in Bible.
No.
They didn't say it in some ancient text. It's only that modern churches, religions, made it like that.
Because they say you have to be humble. You have to be able to give. You have to, share. Be great. No, how do you say that? Giving, grateful, and generous. So when they say that, they interpret it as you have to have no money, and because only when you have money, it is when you have no money, then you're spiritual. And you can see that in society today. Like, look at the NBA stars, the NFL stars, all the soccer stars, football for the Europeans who are watching right now. And then look at all the big spiritual people. They're the ones who have no money, the actual respected spiritual people. I'm not talking about the Pope, but the ones underneath that. They don't have that much money. They drive around.
I don't know, popes in Ukraine are super rich, actually.
Yeah,
they're super fat, super huge bellies, and they're super rich.
Yeah, but everyone underneath that has no money, but movie stars have money, the professional athletes have money, but the healers and I won't say look at us, but the people like us.
Because the belief is that if you're doing something
good,
if
you're doing something good for the people, you should not ask money for it.
If you're helping people, you can't ask money.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a deep belief, especially in healers.
Yes.
Super deep.
But it's one of those things that we as a society have accepted.
Yeah.
And that's when you start stepping out of it, that's when you're not only healing yourself, you're also healing society when you're doing that. And that's something that we want to understand.
I think I'm still working on that a lot. I'm still hesitant to ask money for sessions or something. So ask very little money. Yeah, if you want it. If you don't have a lot of money, you can come to me. Ralph healed more than, so he asks more than I ask.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still working on that. But this is really deep.
It's both of us. Both of us are still working on it. And I guess everyone is still working on it. That you feel a lot of people, I feel that in myself, and a lot of people feel obliged to ask money for what they're doing, even though what we're doing has a big value. And it has, I would argue, has a bigger value than just watching a television show.
Look what Eliana says. I'm better than the people that like nice things if I'm spiritual.
Ooh, that's a good one.
But then why if I'm spiritual, why can't I like things?
Yeah, exactly.
If I come to this material earth full of so many nice things, why can't I like them? If universe gives it to me, look, I have everything for you, all the nice travels, houses, anything, go my child and play, have fun, enjoy. I created it all for you. And you're like, no.
That's not how it is.
No, I'm refusing that.
But I guess...
Then you're refusing that part of creative God, in the universe.
Yeah, because everything is created by God, so we can choose everything in there, including being rich.
Yeah. I always like these examples, how all these gurus, like Osho, for example.
Osho is a perfect example who actually, challenges this norm.
He does? I didn't really read him, but as I know, he had a huge park of expensive cars.
Yes, he had a Rolls Royce for every day of the week or something like that. No, for every day of the year. So he had 100-something Rolls Royces. It was crazy.
And he was spiritual.
He was spiritual, but he was the one who actually started this whole thing of, I don't know, but he is the first one I know of Osho, who said, you actually can have money and be spiritual. It goes together. And he said, fuck it. I can be rich and I can be spiritual. Now, his message was a message that maybe not a lot of people agree with, but...
Oh, we watched it.
Oh, we watched. Oh my god.
We still discuss it until this day. We watched it 3 years ago.
Yes.
It's must watch, definitely. It's really amazing one.
It's really funny how they show all the sides of it. You know, everyone wants to paint him as a really bad guru, but at the same time...
super good one.
Or a super good one, but the truth is somewhere... Well, obviously you have to feel it for yourself. But it's really cool to see all those different sides of the story from it.
Yeah.
But you also can see that he was very practical as well. He just said, I want to be rich, so I can be rich, and I choose to be rich. And he did. And people get paid good money for him, and they took care of him. He took manifesting to the next level, literally.
Well, honestly, when I watched the movie, I didn't get the idea that people in his community were super rich.
Well, a lot of them were actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, obviously, because otherwise they couldn't buy the land in America. They literally bought the land. They literally bought everything. He was funded by... No, people who followed him.
Anyways.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think it's always listening to your heart and not listening to... Well, you can listen to gurus, but you decide for yourself always.
Yes.
And I'm going to have whatever I want in this life. If I want to become a billionaire, why not? Yeah. What it has to say about my spirituality?
Probably, actually, that's how I feel it, is that in the new earth, is that literally money will be much more a spiritual value, and you'll see much more spiritual people actually becoming rich, because it reflects an inner state.
Oh, it's already like that.
Yeah.
You see now that if before businesses could have been built on
corruption, yeah,
killing people, even or something like that, we will see it more and more, but it's already happening. Businesses like that are being destroyed, especially during this quarantine period. You can really observe that.
Yes.
So what kind of businesses survive and what kind of businesses are destroyed as well. But businesses like that, built in the old manner, are going to be completely destroyed to give away to new businesses, new understanding of money, because money is a pure love energy. It's just an energy to establish relationships between people.
Yes.
Of value. What kind of value I give to the world and what I receive back. That's it. Exactly.
That's what it reflects. So here Hiliana says, we'll stop using money. I think that's true, but I'm not sure if it will be happening in our lifetime. Maybe, but we'll have to stay practical here. That's not going to happen from one day or another. That's going to take lots of time to kind of transfer that stuff, because we're still living in this 3D reality, and it has some time to implement and all that stuff.
Or I would say old understanding of money will not be used anymore, but we'll have new understanding of it.
Yes.
Because now money is something dirty and all of that, but it's moving more towards that money is love, money is, this nice flowing energy exchange and all of that.
Yes.
In this sense, probably money will be transformed to something else. But definitely it's changing. It's changing already now. You can feel that as well. In which state you should be so that money come to you? Maybe when you're more loving, more joyful, more happy, you go out there, you do something nice for people, then more money are coming to you. Not when you're sitting there being sad and victimized or something like that.
And that's also literally why I made my last post about money, which is literally that says if you give freely, not only money, but that's an easy way to give. But if you give it with love and with joy and with actually sincerity, you're going to get it back. I mean, remember when we did it before we went to Egypt? When we went to a lot of restaurants. And
like once a week or so.
Well, we went quite often, no, more often than once a week.
The last 2 weeks, we went like 2 times a week or so.
Yes. We went like, well, whatever. Doesn't matter how often we went.
If before we went once a month, then we went like 2 times a week or so.
Yes. So
For 2 weeks.
So what I did is that whenever we went to give a tip, I actually consciously gave a little bit of extra tip, and also did it with the Uber drivers. I gave a little bit of an extra tip, and with love, with lots of love. And actually, what happened is that more people went and booked sessions with me after that, and some more abundance came to us as a result of that. And that just goes to show that the more you give freely with love, the more you get back. That's also literally why I'm starting to share more sincerely right now, because I know that I'll get it back, but also because it gives me so much pleasure to give it. It's a balance that you strike with that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a knowing that, yes, I'll receive back everything that I give 10 times more, but that doesn't diminish anything of that giving that I do, because I know that if I give so much value, as much value as I want to give, I receive it back 100% sure. And if I want to share, especially for people who are really sensitive and who've already done a lot of inner work, they will not be getting away with this anymore. And a lot of people, more and more, you see that they won't get away with lying anymore. They won't get away with this tricking anymore, because people are going to see through you. And that's why you want to share as much as you can. Because when you do that, you'll get it back. Because the universe is a mirror, literally. It works like a mirror.
You see, Ralph, Eliana was able to see through me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I tried to explain myself that, oh no, we didn't go every day. Like, I started thinking that if now it sounds like we went every day, for a long time, it feels like then we're rich people or something like that, and then like we're bad people. See, this is my belief still. That's what look in my manifestation, that's what I was talking about. Thank you, Eliana.
When you're giving from the... Exactly, when you're giving... That's literally what we're doing here. But what we're teaching here is also what we're showing you is to go from this heart. And where we all are going towards is more and more giving from the heart. And when you give from the heart, truly just so that you can help someone, that's pure beauty and pure bliss. And then you get it back, for sure.
If also any of you studied Vedic
astrology.
Astrology, I wouldn't say it's religion, but like this flow, like department, how to say it?
Modality.
Whatever, this modality. It also says, ancient texts and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
they all say that first you need to find your realization
Mm-hmm.
financially. You have to support your materialistical world,
Mm-hmm.
right? So first you need to buy a house, buy whatever you want, get all the toys of this life you want to get, and only then you move toward like
Mm-hmm.
next level. Then you find people around yourself, then you build a company or something like that. But I wouldn't say it's exactly like that. You can do many things at the same time,
Yes.
in new times, because it's with old times, now it's different times. But anyways, even in this old ancient text, they said first you need to support yourself financially.
Satisfy yourself, I would say. Almost.
Satisfy your financial goals and then go forward. Because can you imagine, how can you meditate and connect to God if you're sitting on the piece of ice or something, if you don't even have a home, if you're sitting on the street in the winter?
Mm-hmm.
Hard to meditate, right?
For some people it will be easier, but that will be their choice. But for most people, 99% of the people, they'll be sitting in their homes, right? And then try to, with all this money stress and all this stress that you have, 99% of the people have jobs, they have a family that they're supporting, they have themselves that they're supporting. And if you have stress about money, about materialistic stuff, are you going to be able to actually relax and to let go of that? It's harder. It's harder. That's why they say take care of yourself and of your materialistic so that at least you have a baseline. And from there you can start growing more and more and more.
Yeah, because if I always worry about if I be outside the next day or something while meditating the whole day, it's like, it's just different aspects of our life, right?
Yes.
Because getting money, earning it, going out there, give some value to society is also a skill. And I also noticed that some spiritual people, they say money is evil, I just be spiritual, just because they're afraid that they will not make it, or they're afraid to go to people, they're afraid to build relationship. I was like that, right? That's what I'm saying, some people. I'm afraid to go and advertise myself, right? All the super many fears. So it's much easier to say, no, money is evil. I don't want all this car. I don't want to have a car. I don't want to have a house. I don't want to travel a lot. I just want to be a nice person. While inside, I just have super many fears. Because it happens most of the time.
Yeah.
Because some people hear about this and they start to give and give and give, but they're doing it with the intention of getting back. Oh yeah, that happens a lot.
I did that. I'm guilty of that. I did that very much. And it didn't really help. And only when I started giving more freely, I just without, like I say, without expectations, like you said. And that is giving from the heart. Because heart is love. And love, unconditional love, does not expect to be loved back. Because it knows it's love. God, when it loves you, when God loves you, and literally, when I say God, I mean the universe, right? The universe is always there. It's always loving us, everything. But it's not saying, oh, I only love you if you do this. It doesn't take it away. The love is always there. That's the same with giving. I give because I love, not because I want something in return.
Well, on the other hand, depends, right? If I go to job, if I go to work, I expect to be paid for that.
Oh, that's obviously true, because you give something of yourself.
Yeah. It's like to find this balance between not expecting anything and freely give, and knowing that I actually
deserve.
I give a session, I want to get something back.
Yes.
I spend my time on that.
Because honestly, because that's the balance of giving and, well, I'm going to say receiving, but also self-love. Because loving yourself also means that I can give so freely, but I can still ask something in return for that, for certain of the things that I share.
But I guess that's what Eliana means. If you people do it, and they expect, but they don't really say it. It's like, now you have to. Now you have to give it back to me. Why?
It's
just
like,
because I gave it to you. But you have to say it, and you have to communicate. Okay, I do it for you, but then pay me, or then do something for me. Like,
yeah, that's like giving like this.
That.
Here. I'll give you. You can put the arm back, by the way. I like the arm there. Yeah, thank you. Like, I have this money right here, this pile of money. So it's like I want to give a tip, right? I want to give a tip, and instead of like going like, I want to give, let me give this tip. I know that I have to give, and I give, but okay, here, go, take it. I want you to take it. But if I go like, here, have it. I really want you to have this. Right? Then that's two whole different things, right? That's just really exaggerated, obviously. But that's the difference.
Yeah, or like I like to give a tip. I give a tip, but then I say, universe, see, I gave a tip, now give me something back nice. Because if I give something, I have to get something back.
Yeah, look, here's your tip.
It also can happen like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's not the way to do it. The giving is the reward, the expression of yourself, of your love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why first love yourself. That's the most important.
First love yourself.
Like whatever topic we discuss, it comes to that point. Love yourself first.
Love yourself.
And I guess when we had that live about trauma healing with a super cool technique, that was the whole point. What is loving yourself then? Healing yourself as well, right?
Exactly.
Because I love myself so much.
Mm-hmm. The other also deserves the opportunity to show their appreciation. Yeah, of course. But I don't do it for their appreciation. That makes me feel good, makes me feel better, but I'm not doing it as a reward. Because if I do that, then I'm still expecting something in return. You're reading?
Yeah, I already read.
Okay.
Well, that all sounds very true.
Yeah. All right.
And for those who didn't watch the beginning, please... What? A nice explanation about that. What was the question?
Simon asked an interesting question. What about people? Are there evil people, like truly evil?
Did you watch our last live about fears?
Looks like you didn't watch it completely, or need to rewatch it.
Anastasia answered your question today in the chat, just like an hour ago or so. Mm-hmm. And because she watched the live, and because maybe you watched actually.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, there's no truly evil people. They might believe that they're truly evil, but they're still part of love. However evil you get, you're still part of love. So is there then a true evil? No.
It's just like there is too many plasters over the wound.
Yeah.
Too many plasters of evilness. It can like we discussed it in the context of you have a trauma and you put plasters of life on it, right? More and more love.
Simon, I even sent a link here in the group chat.
But the same can happen if you have love here, and for some reason you believe that love doesn't protect you, have to be evil. You put layers of evilness. I am so evil. I'm a bad person. I have to be strict. I have to be rude. I have to be all of that because otherwise inside I'm just still a little boy or little girl, unprotected, unloved, abandoned, and so I have to have all these layers to show you how bad I am, so that you're scared of me.
Because if you're scared of me, you can't touch me deeply.
Yeah. But I think you also mean like this. That's what I also was thinking a lot about these reptilians, right? What they're doing to these children and like super evil. But on the other hand, if you look from this, like I was telling once that if creator is love and everything in the whole universe is love, right? It's all love energy. The empty space is a love energy. So it means if you think logically, right? You can do it very well. Then these terrible creatures, reptilians or whoever, they're also filled with love. They're also made of love, right? That everything was created out of love. Right or not? So then it means, why do they appear evil to us? Maybe they're actually angels who put the costume of evil and do all the super terrible things to show us something, to teach us something.
To show us our collective consciousness as well.
Yeah.
That's also, everything can happen with our agreement. And our agreement is literally on a collective level, on a collective consciousness level. That is just that's our way of agreeing to something. If something like, for example, let's take a really extreme example, Hitler. The Second World War. Is what he did evil? We decided it was evil. But at that time, he was not only the only one who believed this, but there were 10 million other people who actually agreed with him. And it was only because, as a collective consciousness, we agreed, we were only at that level that just that evilness could exist. Because in a world where all of us, where every soul is like, I would say, not to sound arrogant, but like us on a level of love, do you think that could happen? Of course not. Of course that couldn't happen, because if someone like that steps up, then what do we do? Do we get angry at him? No, we love him more because he just needs love and he needs to help. He just needs help because he feels pain inside. But in that time, and a lot of the times right now, the collective consciousness is raising more and more and more. But even, I lost my train of thought. Can you continue?
Yeah, I was thinking about something right now. Remember last life I watched?
I completely forgot what I wanted to say after this. Okay,
I was telling you about my previous life in Germany, which I clearly remember. That's actually the only life, the only couple which I really remember. And also in that life, Ralph talked about Hitler, and it made me remember that it was also in these memories. I clearly remember how I knew him. We had this community, as you know, if you study this topic. First of all, he was a super poor child, really bullied and all of that, super weak, super, like, really bad childhood he had. So that layer of evilness, as just as I said, is a good example. It was just protection. But anyways, in that previous life, I remember this memory that we were like doing something. We did all these terrible occult rituals with blood, with all of that. But this feeling over the whole life was that I'm doing something super important. We're actually saving the world. Because planet is going to be overpopulated or something. There were some stupid reasons, right? I don't believe it now, obviously. Don't take me wrong, right? But when I had this past life memories, I didn't see him as evil, but I seen him as a savior in that previous life. Just to give you an idea, right? And second, it was not exactly how it was written in the history books. It's not like he wanted to attack the whole world or something, but he actually believed like he was saving the world, and he thought he's following really, really good mission. He didn't see him as evil or something, and he came to the help of evil sources and all other people, including me in that my memories, right? To save the world, to get some more help, because he thought only through evil we can save it, because evil has more power than love.
Yes, and that's what he said. The end justifies the means of doing it. And that's how they thought. We can only save the world by killing all these people. and it's a necessary evil. That's what they thought.
But don't you see that exactly same happens now in this world? We just don't have a Hitler, but we have pharmaceutical companies, we have all this vaccination
We have the oil companies.
We have vaccination in the African countries, which said girls can't get pregnant anymore. We have cancer, which is actually curable, and there are medicines against it. At least in Ukraine, there are super many different communities, and they heal cancer with 100% rate or something. But we say officially there is no cure, and so many people are dying of it. Every day, a lot of people.
Animals.
Yes, all of that. This is exactly the same thing happens every day. Not just, he just killed many people in a short period of time, but now it's been killed something unnoticeably.
Yeah, because it happens such a long rate. But that's also... I keep forgetting the point. Can you please keep on going? I don't know what's happening right now.
But I just gave this example of my previous life memory. Don't think now I'm crazy or something. But it gave me very good perspective on evil people.
All of it is just from a place of, we don't know how to... I keep going to this point and I keep losing my point. What do you continue? Where do you want to go to?
Oh, for example, every time Ralph goes to his phone, and on his phone the whole day, I come to him, not anymore, but I did every day. I would say, what are you doing? Don't do that. Why don't you do this and this? And I started really torturing him. In my eyes, with the best intentions. I want to save him. I want to help him. I want to do this. And in his eyes, I'm super evil, annoying person. You understand? It's always good to have higher perspective on that. Not my limited perspective, but all kind of perspectives. And it helps to understand the evilness and all of that.
Yeah. So, I wanted to say that's just a collective consciousness decision that we're making right now. And now with all of us, we're making a collective consciousness decision not to do that. I mean, have you seen the account of Bill Gates, right, recently? I don't know, but that's a lot of woke people. And am I saying that this is the best way? It's the best way for now. That's how people express their opinion at this moment. And will that improve? Of course, over time, that will improve. We all do good to remember how to say things lovingly but firmly. And not only with hate. But at this moment, people just want to cry out. And that's how they're doing. That's the only way that they feel like they're being heard. So that's how they're now raising this collective consciousness through this.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's amazing. So yeah, that's a long answer to your question, Simon. I hope you were answered, if you're still here.
What is scatterbrained?
Simon's not even here anymore.
He has very busy days.
We're tired of talking about Hitler. No. Sorry, jokes can also be made, right? Scatterbrained is that you start saying something and you completely forget where the point is, like that.
Yeah, it happens to him sometimes.
Yeah, but it's funny that it happens at this point. So yeah.
How many people woke up
through that adrenochrome stuff, where they understood that the system is not what it seems, and that's just the beginning.
Exactly. See what's teaching us.
Exactly, because this is exactly what happens. We are only as good as the relationship to other people. We decide who we are in a relationship to other people. That's why we need this kind of stuff right now, so that we can actually make a decision. Say, hold up, wait a minute, that's not who we are. And then the decision may be, in the first case, like I said, sometimes the decision of love is to express anger and to express this hatred. Sometimes that's necessary to express that. And that's what we're doing right now. We're saying, as a humanity, we're now making a stance and we're saying, stop. This is the limit. Our free will. This is our free will. This is not going any further anymore. And we're doing that collective conscious, collectively, as now right now more and more people are doing that. And it's actually a very, relatively small percentage. It's even less than 1% of the population. Like 1% of the population only needs to be woken up in order to create this ripple effect. And we're already long past this 1%.
Exactly.
We're going towards the 10% already right now. And this ripple effect is only going to increase and only going to increase. And then we're going to collectively go and grow each more and more and more.
Oh. It brings us to the point again, how important always to have bigger perspective on everything.
Yes.
If we're listening to someone on Instagram, or we're reading a book, It's just that person's opinion. And the truth, the highest truth, is always very much, let's say, it's all...
all-encompassing?
Yeah, something like that. It's not one tunnel, vision.
It's not one tunnel vision.
And only I hear, remember, this is the filter, right?
Yes, this one here.
Yeah.
This little friend over here. Little big friend, I should say.
The little big friend.
Yes. So when you're listening to your heart, you cannot be fooled. Your heart always knows.
Yeah, I also had this example just now in my head. I don't know how it's related. Well, it's related, but about
We'll see.
a bigger vision. Like now we have this, everyone is talking about crisis, right? So there's going to be a crisis, there is no money and all of that. But again, if we go and see higher vision, where the money going? Are there becoming less money? So someone is sitting there and saying, okay, all money are taken away, right? So this is, you have now less money, and you have now less money here, and others I take somewhere, I destroy them, I fire them, they're destroyed, so now I have less money. No, of course not. We just feel like there is less money, but the amount of money is not less in the world.
It's just being distributed differently.
Yes.
And that's what you're seeing right now, because people are not investing into Wall Street anymore. They're just holding the money. Because what is that? What is Wall Street, right? What does it say? How much people are willing to pay for something, and how is that determined? By the demand. How many people want to buy something? And now there's just less people buying it. That's the only thing that it says. Less people are buying it. Then what happens to the money? It doesn't disappear. People are just holding on to the money. And so the big companies have less. And that's why they're saying it's a crisis, because the big companies have less. It's not like it's all of a sudden people have less. As a result, certain people have less. The people who are being fired and everything.
But the general amount of money in the world is not less.
It's not less. It doesn't,
No one destroys them somewhere underground or something. It's just the same amount of money. They're just distributed differently indeed. And that's why when in such times we can have a broader perspective and see how can I make money now.
Oh, Simon's back. We stopped talking about evil people and Simon's back.
Stop talking about Hitler, right? Yes.
So yeah.
Like many now, like delivery companies or post offices, like online, make so much money right now.
Yeah, people stores.
Or masks, also like in Ukraine, those people who make masks, face masks.
They're the ones who are making lots of money right now, because they are the ones who don't think in, how do you say that? They don't think in bad things and kind of like in complaints and problems. They think in solutions and opportunities. Because they see, well, I might be fired from my job right now, but I don't need this job if I can make so much more money by just sewing those little masks right now and selling them for a high price.
And that's exactly what this new times it's showing us, that all the systems are being broken down. We have to become really flexible and adapt to new world, to new possibilities, and not hold on to the... Basically, it's showing us that nothing is stable, because so many people are holding on to their job. I have my job, like my father. He works at his factory like for 20 years. Since he's 20 years, he's now 40. And he is not going to change it never in his life. He says, otherwise I'm going to die. No one is going to take me. And it's not only him. Many people do that. They really hold on to this illusion of stability. Even though his factory can also go bankrupt, and that's it.
And then he has to find something else.
Yeah, and that's what's happening right now. It's showing to us and people like my father that, it's nothing is stable. You shouldn't be afraid of anything. You can always make your living. You can always adapt. You can always be flexible, and you need to learn to be flexible.
Yes, and that's where we now come back to the topic of manifestation and abundance. Is when you give more, that's when you receive more. More with the heart. But we already established that, so I'm not going to repeat myself in that one. And then when you are flexible and you think in opportunities, you think with your heart. And you look, because your heart sees opportunities everywhere, good ideas, right? You always have good ideas coming, and just up to you to choose which one you like best. But your heart always sees opportunities, and that's what you're doing right now. My brothers told me to listen to them and not to my phone. Shall I? Yes, I'll speak my thoughts on that. It's not your brother's fault that you didn't listen to us.
We have free will.
We have free will.
And you are 18 years old. Well, I don't know. In Germany, you are adult when you're 18 years old. In America, when you're 21, right?
Yeah, 18 and 21. There's different ages for everything. But let's say keep the adult age of 18. You're 18 years old. You can tell your brother, go fuck yourself. I listen to my phone whenever the fuck I want.
I do what I want.
It's not your brother's fault. And if they play on your guilt feeling, why do you feel guilty for being on your phone then? So yeah, but if you give freely. Give freely with your heart and you will receive back. Comes back to us also, if you want to manifest, you want to be radiating out that energy. You want to give out that energy of your new life. So if in your new life you're abundant, how does the new you act? That literally means that you're giving that energy to the world right now. You're showing that energy to the world. So I'm giving with an energy of abundance. And I'm giving with an energy of as if I already have my new car. Right? Anything to add to that?
I think I've said the most important thing at the first 10 minutes of life, honestly.
I also think so.
As for me.
Yeah.
After that, I think when you listen to that, you understand what I mean. There is nothing more to add about it, at least from my side.
Honestly, it's really simple. We're now basically repeating the points, but... Yeah.
But the main point is that go to a river and remove all the stones.
Yes.
Because ability to create, to give, to manifest is natural.
For abundance, abundance and manifesting is the same thing, right? We just open ourselves up to it.
It's not like I have to force to give myself, but why do I feel like I don't want to give?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm tired. Why is that? Why don't I give to myself? Why? Still, it's what's stopping the natural flow.
Why? Because maybe I want to, because I don't trust the world to give me back what I want.
Or maybe I feel like it's going to exhaust me. I'm going to give myself fully and I don't know when to stop or something. There is always something.
Always.
And this is the very first task to remove all these stones from the river of abundance. Yes. Yeah. And know that you deserve it. That you deserve all the best just because you're son and daughter of the God of universe and you came here and you have all the rights and all the same equal abilities as...
Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Just to name a name.
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins is probably a better name to name.
Like anyone.
Yeah. It's just they gave themselves permission to have.
Yeah, they allowed themselves.
They allowed themselves to have and to give. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
Or to take in certain cases. But they allowed themselves. They said to themselves, I deserve it.
If you want, we can make another live next time about... If you're interested about this topic, more about money, which beliefs, specifically which beliefs we can have, which stop us from money coming to us. Mm-hmm. Because there are really, really many.
Yes.
And sometimes we don't even understand that we believe that. But just observe yourself and you'll see. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have any questions? And thank you very much for coming.
Yes, thank you so much for being here.
Do you want to have meditation today? Don't you feel like that?
I don't really feel like doing a meditation right now.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to I feel like it's a good thing to actually just go and self-reflect right now.
And do the homework.
Yes.
Again, I will repeat. What do I want to get? I want to get a new phone. And then imagine you can close your eyes and feel how does it feel to have it. Mm-hmm. And then go past it and see what bad can happen if you have it. What actually fears are your fears. Oh yeah, and the last thing about this topic, about manifestation, another reason, and maybe the last one, why it cannot come to you, your phone or something, because it's not actually your wish. Mm-hmm. You have to find your door and walk through your door, because maybe I think I want that phone, but I just want it because my friend has it. But in reality, I'm okay with some old Motorola phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I think I want to have a house, but deep inside, I want an apartment. I want an apartment in the center of the city. Mm-hmm. And I just say I want to have a house next to the sea because everyone has a house next to the sea.
Or at least everyone that you feel like is important to you and that you
Yeah, because
look
this
up
is
to.
a good goal to have. It's a nice thing. But deep inside, I want something else.
Yeah, so that's also one of those things that comes when you start removing those blockages, also the stones from the river. You start seeing that at some point you start removing the stones, and when you've removed so many stones, all of a sudden you feel like, wait a second, I've removed all the stones, but I still don't want this thing. And I still don't feel like I am getting it. And then you realize, I don't even want this thing. What happened?
You touched me.
So yeah, then you start feeling like, oh, yeah, I don't, like Alina said, I don't even want to live in the big house next to the sea right now. I want to have an apartment in a big city next to the sea.
Well, everyone says you have to travel business class, and it's a super nice goal to have, right? Really amazing. But what if I love trains? I get so happy in the trains. Yes, it's longer. Yes, it's more uncomfortable, but I like it so much. Why can't I then travel by train? It's always important to find what your heart likes, what you like specifically.
Some people like to travel by car much more than they like to travel by airplane.
Yeah.
Or they love to take this 3 weeks on a cruise ship on the way to America.
Yes, because if it's not your goal, then it's going to come super slow or not going to come at all.
Because then it's like the saying, you're trying to pull a dead horse.
Yeah, thank you, Lana.
I think, I don't know if Iliana will type right now, but some more. But yeah, that's, we'll wait until Iliana has done typing, because I feel like Iliana will start typing something right now.
Or not, maybe that's what had to be edited.
Maybe yes. See, all I would add is that all of this also applies to non-material things like a relation. Of course! We're now just giving materialistic things because that's what mostly we are focusing on in our lives, I guess.
I think it's actually a good topic for the next life about relationships.
Yes.
Finding a soulmate.
We'll start talking about
because about this topic we're not billionaires, as I said. We can only give working instruments, but about relationships we actually achieved something.
And we know exactly what the hell we're talking about.
I think this area of our life is the most the most progress we have.
Yes, and we will definitely share some on that on the next live. Also, now that gives me on the topic of how we're going to continue in this group. And I will be sharing more. We will be sharing more, either with the video.
Because it's coming to the end of
Yes, our month is coming to an end soon. We have like 2 or 3 lives left on this month that we have. And then it's time for us to decide what we're going to do next. And I'll be letting you know. We will be letting you know.
Well, we for sure are going to have a next group.
Yes, we're going to have a second group. You might have already seen a little bit on our Instagram. But we're going to start advertising that more. And we already have some ideas what we are going to do right now for this group. For this...
Well, we are thinking that we are going to keep the chat because we are all friends together.
The chat we will keep for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, of course.
And we're going to see what we're going to do with the lives. Maybe we were thinking about maybe a subscription-based something that you can pay per month, and we'll continue with the more advanced...
super little payment.
Yeah, something little, and that we will continue advanced classes. Where we work on specific things and we go much more in depth than what we already did. So, yeah.
Okie.
That's basically what we want to say. Oh, yeah, and now obviously the meditation course will be coming soon. Now that I have this nice little microphone.
Okay, for me time to go then.
So, yeah.
Have a very nice day or evening or night.
Yes. Have an amazing day, my loves. Namaste. Thank you very much. That's what you say at the end and the beginning, right, as well.
What, namaste?
Or not?
I don't know.
I also don't know, but it sounds nice. So, namaste. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
And we will talk...
Cheers.
Cheers. Ciao, ciao. And see you later, alligator, for our Florida friend over here.
See you soon, raccoon.
Bye-bye, dears.